Welcome to our Homologa tutorials, where we explore tips and tricks from Homologa, the global crop protection database. Today we will be discussing data availability for both MRLs and plant protection data. I will jump right into the tool. As you can see, this is the front page of Homologa, and in the top right corner you can see that I am logged in with my account. In order to solve this frequently asked question of, what kind of data do you have, what's the coverage, how many times do you update that information, etc., you can use these two interactive maps that we have in the front page. As you can see, we have got country coverage for registration data and country coverage for MRLs data. If I go to the first one, registration data, this is crop protection data, you can see that we have got this map with different pieces of information. You can see the countries that were last updated. For example, Netherlands was updated just today. I am recording this on the 17th of September, 2024. I can search by country. As an example, if I go to Canada, I can see how Canada has been updated recently. You can see that it was updated just a few days ago. The number of updates that we have for this country is 11, and this is the data that we have available for crop protection for Canada. You can see that we have the local language, basic product information, crop information, etc. We always include in this information the source of the data, which is going to be stated in this comment field down here on the table. I am going to talk about that in just a second. Or as you can see here, source, it's stated right away. I can go ahead and zoom in on the map if I need to go and check that map more in detail. I also have the option to reset the view of the map, or I can even go and select those countries with different data types. For example, if I want to know which are the countries with PHI, post-harvest interval information, I can just go ahead and select those 63 countries. At this point you can see all the countries that have PHI information available. You can select any of the fields on the left and check the availability by country in this map. Down below we have the same information but in a table format. As you can see, the different countries are organized by different areas. Africa goes first, and then the rest of the countries will come after that. The last update will be included there. The number of updates per year is one of the fields. On the right, you can see that we have got a green check if we have that information, or it is blank if that information is not available for that particular country. Sometimes we also state partially, and this is because we or the country is not offering that information throughout the whole data set. As you can see that for the good agricultural practice information, we have got countries with your specific partial information, sometimes we do not have any, or they do not state that information, and sometimes we have the complete information. This is just an example for the crop protection data with this interactive map. If you want to check what is the status of the data when it comes to MRLs in Homologa, you can go to this country coverage MRL data. Here it is the same idea, but the map changes because in this case, we have different MRL standards. The most obvious example is the European Union. As you can see, all the countries are in blue. If I want to select the countries using the European Union standards, you can see that I can highlight those ones. Same for the countries that are following Codex information, etc. You can see that the list on the right is changing according to that selection. We can also go to select the different data types. If you want to see which are the countries with residue definitions, for example, I can highlight those. In this case, 99 countries with the residue information. Again, in the lower part of this page, you will be able to see each one of the countries, which is the information that is included per country, when it was last updated, the number of updates per year, and the source of that data. If you've got questions about this or any other topics, we'll be happy to help you. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you found these tips and tricks for using Homologa helpful. And do not forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell if you want to stay up to date with our latest tutorials. See you in the next video. Goodbye.